Hello, freshmen. Now that you've finished the reflection and introduction to chapter 3, let's take a look at the historical Jesus. People who don't believe, they put down Christians for accepting the scripture. Now, we put a lot of emphasis on scripture, that's true, and the gospel accounts of Jesus are how we know most of what we know about him. But they aren't the only place that we know about him. There might be a little bit of truth to it if you would say, well, it was written by a believer, so you can't trust what a believer says. Maybe there's some truth to that, but we don't have to just go on what the believers wrote. Non-Christian sources write about Jesus and about early Christians, and both of those are valid proofs that the historical person, a person named Jesus, lived in the time and place that Christians say he did. The early Christians, when people write about the early Christians, that's still a testimony, even if it's not directly about Jesus Christ. Christian means follower of Christ. There would have been no early followers of Christ had there not been a Christ. So, mentions of early Christians, mentions of Jesus, are solid proof that historically a man existed by that name in that time and place. It's hard for us to keep track of because we are looking at pictures like this, just pictures. And we know they're pictures. We don't have pictures from 2,000 years ago. Maybe if you were the emperor of the Roman Empire, we have you on a coin or a statue. So when we're always looking at pictures and paintings, it is hard to forget that Jesus was a historical man. He lived and he died, just as Christians say he did. So for this next activity, you are going to be reading the different sources, they're just little bits, that historians wrote back in the day or near the day of Jesus that include Jesus. So before we do that, I'm going to ask you a deep question. 2,000 years from now, how much do you think we'll be able to find about you in a history book? Jesus was a nobody in his day. He was a peasant in a country that had been conquered by the Roman Empire. He was impoverished. You already know all the things he never did from the reflection, One Solitary Life. We would expect to find nothing about this man in a history book. Nothing. So the fact that we find anything is really, really telling, even if it's only a sentence or two. I can sadly tell you 2,000 years from now, unless there's some kind of computer record still that can be accessed for my driver's license or my voter registration card, that there will be not one mention of me, not even one sentence in history books 2,000 years from now. So you're going to read them. You're going to take notes as you go. The notes are going to be important because tomorrow you will be taking a Socrative based on that reading. It's going to be on shuffle. It is not sequential. It's going to be on shuffle. The answers are going to be on shuffle. So your notes are going to be critical to you to be able to score well on the Socrative. So get ready. Look back on the document for the pages for the reading. Have a great day.